Hello everyone, and thank you for watching my 248 video tutorial. In this video we are going to introduce a major visual improvement to our game. I'm going to add animations to our tiles in the cases of merging and in the case of a new tile appearing. To do this, I will go to our canvas and I will select our main panel, and here I would like to locate one tile and we will select this first one. So to add animations, there is this special window that we can use. So I will go to window and pick animation, and this window might appear somewhere where you don't want it. I usually like my animation window here beside project and console, so I will drag it here, and here I can just click create, and this way I will create a new animation for our tiles. So to keep everything in order, I will go to our assets folder, right click, and I can hit create folder, and I will call this folder animations, and we will not have a lot of animations, so I can save this one just in the root of our animations folder, and I will call this animation idle. So this will be the animation when nothing is happening with our tile. And we can decrease this samples value to, let's say, 30. And now to add new animations, I can just click on this idle, so I can click on the name of our animation and this drop down list will appear that will also have this option create new clip. So I will create another clip that I will call appear. So this will be the animation of our tile appearing, and I will also decrease our samples to 30. And for all the animations, I will just use this scale property of our tiles, but we have to remember that what we are calling a tile in our game is actually just a background for a tile, but the actual cell with a number is called this numbered cell. So I can go to our animation window and hit add property, and here I can select our numbered cell, rect transform, and I would like to have its scale, so I will hit plus right beside its scale. So for these animations we are just going to modify X and Y values, and if our tile is appearing, I would like it to be smaller at first, so I will try something like 0.6 in the X direction and 0.6 in the Y direction, and it will gradually go to a scale of 1. And I can now go to our animation window and hit on this play button that says preview. So we'll preview how our animation looks. I think that this is pretty decent and it will do for us, so I will just hit on this play button to interrupt the preview of our animation, and I will also hit on this red button so that we end recording our animation. And now I would like to add another animation state that will be called merge animation. In the case of merging, I would also like to access our numbered cell scale property, so I will add that, and here we will have not 2 but 3 keyframes, so I will hit Ctrl C and I can just double click anywhere on this animation timeline and it will just paste another state that is exactly like all our other states. For the merge animation, I would like our tile to become a bit bigger, so I will try the scale of 1.1 and 1.1 in the Y direction, and then I would like it to return to its original state. So let's check out how this looks. So when a new tile will appear, it will stretch a little bit and then it will return to its original size. So for this state, let's try 1.15 and I will stop on that. So 1.15 and 1.15 in the Y direction. And now let's preview our animation. And I can stop playing this animation and press on this red dot. That means that we have already recorded our animation. And now if I go to this tile, we can see that a new component has been added to our tile that is called the animator. Animator is basically a state machine for all our animations. So to get access to animator, I will go to our window and select this animator window, and it will appear here in our scene view, which is actually fine. And to move the view of the animator window, I can hold down Alt and move all these states. Right now our animator holds all the states that correspond to the animations that we have created. So the first one is idle, and this is the state that we use most often, so I will just drag everything around and reorganize a little bit. So I would like to have this entry state and any state on the top, and appear and merged will be organized right below our idle animation. And we would like to add transitions. So to add transition to other animation, I have to right click and hit on this make transition button, and we would like to actually transition from idle to merge and appear, and also from merge and appear back to idle. So I will establish these connections in our animator. And now once I have added all these connections, I can press on any of the arrows and configure our transition. But before I do that, I would like to go to this parameters tab in our animator window, and here it says list is empty, and I would like to get two new parameters, which will be triggers, and one of them will be called appear and another will be called merge. And I will probably show you how to use triggers in code in our next lecture. So one will be called appear and another will be called merge, and capitalization matters. And now I can go and select any of our arrows. So this first arrow from idle to appear, I would like to have a condition for this transition set to appear, and for this I would like it to also have a condition, so I will hit this plus sign, and first it says appear, so it shows the other trigger, and here we have this drop down list, so I will select merge instead of appear. And another thing that I would like to configure is this checkmark has exit time. We wouldn't like to have that for both our appear and merge methods, so I will uncheck that. And also in the settings we have our transition duration, and we would like just to set it to 0 because we don't want our transitions delayed in any way. And the same thing I will do for this merged, so I will say transition duration equals to 0 and has exit time. I will uncheck that. And now we have to configure our transitions back from our appear and merge to idle. Here I would like to have has exit time because we will not have any other conditions to transition from appear to idle. So it will just react when our animation has fully played. So I will check exit time to 1, and transition duration I will change it to 0 because basically in the end of our appear animation our tile has the same properties that it has in the idle animation. And here for this merge to idle transition I will also leave has exit time. I will set exit time to 1, and I will set our transition duration to 0. Now this is everything that we have to do to configure our animator, so I can just go to this tab and hit close tab. And another thing that I can do is I can go to our assets and locate our newly created animations folder, and I would like to select both of our animations one by one. So first I will select appear and I will disable this loop time. So we know that this animation is not a loop animation, we just want it to play once and then stop. And for the merge animation I will do the same thing. I will go to this loop time property and I will disable it. And another thing that you might have noticed is that we have configured all our animations and our animator just for this one tile. So our animator component currently is attached only to our first tile, but there is an easy workaround that we can use. So here in the inspector I can just hit our animator with the right mouse button and say copy component, and I would like to select all the other tiles that we have in our scene. And here in the inspector for all our other tiles I can just hit on any of the names of these scripts, and there will be this option available that is called paste component as new. And once I paste it, this component called animator will appear on all my tiles. So we have done a lot in this lecture. It took some time to configure both our animations and our animator. And in the next lecture we will add a couple of lines of code to our scripts that will enable all our animations, and we will test them and see how they look in our game. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.